welcome to another great interview for the 2023 Business Connection Virtual Summit. I am Bill Marshall and I am joined by Christine, and today we are talking about promotional items and how it applies to branding and different things that you can do with them. And I think we've all seen these, we all kind of have an idea of what they are, but we don't truly know the power that these can have. So Christine, please tell us who you are, what you do, and a little introduction into what we're going to be talking about today.
Sure. So I'm Christine Petre. I'm with Jersey Girl Promo. We are a promotional products company specializing in branded merchandise. Myself, I've been in the industry of promotional products for decades. I started actually on the supplier end, which has given me a real unique experience in, I guess, developing my skill set in the promotional products industry. So our focus at Jersey Girl Promo in helping clients use branded items is to make sure that you're really understanding what it is that you're trying to accomplish with branded items. So that would be mainly getting brand exposure. But then we take it a step further and really try to make sure that we're focusing on items that are going to be part of people's daily lives. They hold on to them. You get more cost impression, which we'll talk about in a little bit, as far as more bang for your buck, if you will, for using promotional products. But we also try to really focus on having a strategic focus on branded product and how you should be using it.
Absolutely. And I think that the first thing I want to kind of get a little more clarity on, because you did mention a little bit of what branding products are, but let's
Yeah.
kind of break down some examples. Let's talk a little bit about what they are at their core and what they're capable of.
Well, branded items are any item that you would want to put a message or your logo on. So you see them everywhere. And it's funny because once you start thinking about them, you can't not see them. So it's your bank pen, a t-shirt, a cup, umbrellas, basically anything that any company would put a logo on to get their message out, or just to get their branding recognition. So it's literally any category, any product. Koozies. It's just endless. It really is endless what you can put a logo on.
Absolutely. And I think that it's something that companies need to think about how to put the like. So what I'm getting at, what I'm trying to say is
Yeah,
that
get it out of me, Bill. Go ahead.
when you're a smaller company, you think of your go-tos, social media, email marketing, and kind of like direct prospecting. But as you become a bigger company or try to expand to that next level, getting your brand out there is definitely one of the things that separates that company that's starting out to the company that's really starting to broadcast that, hey, here we are and here's what we do, so that
Right.
now people can see a logo or a message or something on a pen and be like, oh, I remember. And
Right.
I think the next thing I want to kind of talk about is, when we're putting our message and our brand on these different items, what are we doing with them and how are we putting them out there in order to get something back?
Gotcha. So it's that's such a broad question,
Yeah.
but I would say in general, it's all perceived value, your relationship with your clients, making them feel special, but most importantly, the reminder of you. Um, Boss Cobbs is obviously a huge company, and I mean I can drive by the mall and I see Boss Cobbs all the time. But I had received a Boss Cobbs umbrella, a great umbrella that I tossed into my closet, and there it's propped up. And every single time I open up that coat closet, boom, I see Boss Cobbs. There's just something about it, whether it's an employee or a client, when they receive a gift, it does give a good feeling, and it also gives a perceived value, not just to that product, but to the company. For employees, it makes them feel appreciated, and also keeps their head in focus with the brands. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely. And I think it brings out some really important pieces of it all, where if we're on social media, we only have that one place that we can be. And we also like people are on there doing 100 other things. But when we have something that's in the home or being used daily, um, you're in hand all the time. And it's also
Yeah,
not distracted by the bajillion other things out there on social media. So it really kind of gives you a nice chance to get focused as like you have the only real estate in the house of like the ad. You know what I mean? Like it's the
right,
only umbrella that's branded as Boss Cobbs in the closet, and you open the closet every day. It's like a chance for you to be in front of them solely over and over again. And
right,
I think that adding in that psychology, that value in those different pieces, now you're connecting with those people on a whole nother level, as opposed to just another video or just another text in a video in a ad saying something. And I feel
right.
like you're now building a connection, which is extremely important when it comes to getting clients. So what are some examples to kind of wrap our head around that perception? We gave the umbrella. What are some other things that we can like some examples of what we can do, what the results are that might kind of feel in the emotions and things like that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at it, but I always go back to that strategic focus. Um, those items that you were holding on to, maybe even yourself. So I would say, I mean, I'm in the promotional products industry, but every time I open up a closet, I'm thinking of Boss Cop. So it's like there is a psyche to it, or a psychology, I should say, to it. So I would say, think about an item that you would like to receive, and maybe items around your own house, whether it's a jar opener that's been sitting in your drawer, in your so-called drunk drawer. Oh my, your junk drawer
Yeah.
for several years. I've said many times, I swear my mom still has like her old bank jar opener that she received like 30 years ago from the bank. So these are all useful, practical items that people will hold on to. But most importantly, you are giving them away. You're making it a product that they're going to want to hold on to, but then they're always going to be reminded of your company and you, for the connection that you made. I have a law office who gave me a couple nail files, and I stuck them in my mugs that were given to me, and I use them as a pen holder. And I have all my pens that I grab continually that they're all branded. And sure enough, every so often I'd look at that nail file and think, I need to call my girlfriend Katie. So they just work. And again, it's about the branding recognition, but also the message reminder. And also, if you're having that connection with your clients, then it's also the emotional factor of wanting to reconnect with that sales rep or that owner. So I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does, absolutely. And I think that it's again reinforcing that part where we're now deepening that connection, and that's truly what branding is. Having the ability to have something out there that when people look at it, they think of you or they feel a certain way. Like McDonald's, they just has to put the arch out there and people
Yeah.
either get hungry or disgusted, but there's a reaction that happens. Same thing with the Nike swoosh. You see that and you think, okay, I got to buy shoes or I have to motivate myself to just do it. So these are ways for us to kind of start accomplishing that. And I think that one of the things I want to get into now is we figured out the product we want. We know what message we're going to put on it, what branding we're going to do. And, what are some ways we can get it out there? So, for example, like mailing it when the client gets onboarded, like what are some ways that we can get those products out there and in front of those people and, um, make it special?
Well, definitely you can use them as mailers. I mean, you have to think of the piece and the weight of it. So if you're going to be doing mailing, then that's going to be an added cost if you're doing a heavier piece. I do a lot of different things, and my clients do a lot of different things. So definitely a mailer with maybe like a lighter piece. I actually, although I've done special kits, especially for onboarding and welcoming kits, where you're willing to invest a little bit more in shipping, like $10 or $20, where you can really put together a nice package. I love in person drop off. So I think that, that's so rare nowadays. And especially when you're showing up, and especially if you're cold calling and you're coming with gifts, that's definitely welcomed. And then of course, events. So anytime you're at an event, and I would say for events, I mean, you have like your usual suspects of product where it's like the stress balls and the lip balms and stuff like that. And those are, and I do them all the time. I do them personally, tote bags and stuff like that. But I would say you do want to do something, or you want to try to figure out something, especially industry related to the event that you're doing, that maybe is just a little bit different. And in being different doesn't have to be expensive, and also in being different, it doesn't even have to necessarily be a different product, but maybe just a different design. With a little more splash of color and a really cool message or a great tagline or something funny, especially for t-shirts. So yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to use product, but the whole goal is to just flood the market as much as you can in anything that you're doing with those products to get them into consumers' hands.
Awesome. All right. So to kind of start wrapping it into a bow and really understanding the power, we've touched on a lot of different pieces. What they are, how we can use them, what we can accomplish with them. And I think that the biggest piece is kind of going in again on the results of these pieces. People can remember you and people can connect with you, but what are some other like results that you have seen from people using promotional items?
Well, I mean, aside from the reminder, um, the one thing that comes to mind when we're talking about results, and I had mentioned to you before, is that cost per impression. So I think that that's where the strategic focus really needs to come in the products that you're going to be choosing, to make sure you're getting the most exposure out of the money that you're going to invest in that product. So just to give you the easiest visual, a lot of people, they think, okay, we'll just do silicone bracelets. They're only 30 cents per, as opposed to maybe like an 89-cent lip balm. But in reality, you have, when you're strategically breaking that down and thinking about it and how long people are going to hold on to it and what the brand exposure is going to be, most likely people are going to hold on to a silicone bracelet probably and use it and have you get brand exposure 1 to 3 times. So okay, fine, it was a inexpensive item and you got cost per impression 10 cents per. Then if you go with a good quality lip balm, like a beeswax formula, all natural, 89 cents. Well, someone's going to hold on to that. They're going to probably use it once a day. They're going to use it probably 7 days a week. And this is minimum. You have maybe for 3 months, which I would say that they probably would hold on to it longer. You are now at a less than a penny per impression, and you're getting a lot more brand exposure every time they use it, and then they're talking about it. So I'm That's, my whole thing again is just having that strategic focus and how they can use branded products, and the results that they're going to get really at the end of the day is making sure you're picking the right product for you that you're going to be able to use in a good long-term time, but also get the results. And I also like to really focus on items that you're getting a lot of what's called real estate on it.
Hmm.
So you want a decent imprint area, for really sharing a message. I hope that answers your question. I mean, I can go on
Absolutely.
and on about that, but
No,
that's
I
as
that,
far as, well, and again, as far as results go, um, I think I had shared the quote with you by Ford, which
mm,
was a man who tries to save money by not advertising is like a man who tries to save time by stopping the clock. Like, you have to advertise. You have to put if you're owning a business or you're running a business or you're a sales rep, you have to invest in some type of advertising and marketing. It's a must.
mhm.
So I just say, let's be very strategic about it and getting the most out of that money that you're going to invest. for the
Absolutely.
best results.
Yeah, and I think that really brings it into the like full focus of what we're talking about, the power of it and the way that it can get
Yeah.
out there. So, please tell us how people can reach out to you and get a hold of you.
Sure. So I'm sure my website and my contact information will be shared on this. You can go to jerseygirlpromo.com. I'm on Facebook. But I would say reach out to me directly. I will give you my cell phone right now. It's my personal cell phone is 856-834-3540. Text me, call me. But you'll have my email information as well. And I have a great team that's they're ready to help. But for this group, I will, personally make myself available.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And again, everyone, thank you so much for watching another great interview for the 2023 Business Connection Virtual Summit. I'm Bill Marshall, and we will see you all in the networking event tonight. Bye.